With 2018 drawing to a close, I did the math and I drove over 150 new cars in 2018, so this video is all about our top hits. But unlike other outlets, value factors more heavily in our rankings than horsepower, because I think that's what shoppers are really after. That brings us along to our first category, best vehicle under $25,000. We have 3 different vehicles in most of these categories, and the first up for this category is the Kia Soul. It starts at $16,200. It's very inexpensive, very practical, has excellent reliability and excellent safety numbers. And that's why I actually own a Soul EV. Now, it is a 2016 model, and we are seeing a brand new model for 2019. However, at the moment, I think the Soul is still a very good buy. I did the numbers over and over again to make sure, but our next 2 entries are also from South Korea. Our next up is the Hyundai Ioniq. It's a very impressive compact sedan starting at $22,200. Now, that is a little bit more than some of the other compact sedans with which it competes, but what's interesting about the Ioniq is that it does an excellent job at competing with the likes of the Toyota Prius and the Honda Insight, and it does a very good job at competing with non-hybrid entries like the Corolla or the Civic, etc. It's not quite as dynamic as a Honda Civic, but it still is very, very good to drive, and of course the fuel economy is extremely good. Cargo practicality is also very, very high. So it's hard to complain about the overall handling ability or some of the overall style elements when you get over 50 miles per gallon, and that's actually going to save folks money in the long run. Next up, we have the Hyundai Kona at $19,990. It's my favorite subcompact crossover at the moment. That brings us along to the green vehicles category. These didn't really fit anywhere else, so I just created a new category for them. First up is the Clarity plug-in hybrid vehicle. I think it's a great vehicle all the way around. If you're looking for a mid-size sedan and you want to shift some of your consumption from gasoline to electricity, you're looking for a greener option, or you're simply looking for high fuel economy, the Clarity plug-in hybrid is an excellent win here. Nearly 50 miles per gallon in a vehicle the size of an Accord or Camry, the ability to drive 47 miles electric only, and an interior that is very, very comfortable. The only downside for the Clarity, admittedly, is that the looks do take a little bit of getting used to. If you're looking for an electric vehicle in 2018 or 2019, obviously the Model 3 is the elephant in the room. The Model 3 has been selling exceptionally well in the United States, and there's good reason. It does a good job at being an EV. Now, the Tesla does fall down in some of the other areas, fit and finish quality, overall build quality. There's still some problems there. But Tesla is really seemingly working hard to improve those. Although I still haven't had the opportunity to do a review on the Model 3, I'd be remiss for not including it on this particular list. However, I have to say that for 2019, one of my top picks again is going to be from South Korea, and that would be your choice of the Kona, Soul, or Niro EVs. Between 230, 240 miles of range and overall pricing that is actually going to be less than the Chevy Bolt. Keep in mind that the Chevy Bolt EV is not going to get its full EV credit for 2019, and that also helps tip the scales in the favor of this trio. Now let's get back to more regular vehicles. For $30,000, I love the Camry Hybrid. $27,800, again, a no compromises hybrid vehicle. We're really starting to see more and more of these in America, and the Camry is an excellent example. It's actually faster than the regular 4-cylinder Camry. It only costs a little bit more, and the average person is going to save money over the lifetime of the vehicle. If you want something with a little bit more utility, the Mazda CX-5 at $24,150 is a gorgeous crossover, and it's going to get a little bit better for 2019 because they're finally going to be putting a turbocharged engine under the hood that should give it the kind of thrust that we see in the Honda CR-V. And of course, if you want something that's even sportier, the Mustang 2.3-liter turbo is just an excellent option under $30,000, as long as you don't really need a usable back seat. $28,460 buys you the Mustang 2.3 with the automatic transmission. I know the manual transmission is more fun, but the automatic is probably going to be a little bit more practical for most shoppers. I know there are a ton of Mustangs out there, but that's because it's simply a great car to drive. In the $40,000 category, we have the family-friendly Atlas at $30,750 starting, but you're really going to want to add options on that, and a nicely equipped one is going to be around the $37,000 to $40,000 mark. Although some folks have been complaining about overall reliability in the Atlas, hopefully Volkswagen has ironed those things out, and it is still a very practical family-friendly vehicle. We have a large cargo area in the back, and it's extremely friendly for car seats in the second row. That's really why it's on this list. If you're looking for more of a luxury option, then we have a Volvo XC40. This is probably my favorite subcompact luxury crossover. It actually manages to beat the BMW X1 and the BMW X2 when it comes to a lot of performance metrics at the moment. Now, BMW is responding to that by giving us an even more powerful version of their subcompact crossovers. But in this particular segment, really, Volvo wins the pack when it comes to overall handling ability, overall acceleration at the moment, braking ability, and of course a cute and fun interior. The XC40 is a really good looking vehicle, and it's a really good option if you want to get something that's a little bit different than the German options. Talking a little bit about more personal picks at the moment, the most fun car I drove all year has to be the BMW M5. I know that a lot of folks will question that and say, well, you drove a McLaren, you drove an Aston Martin, you drove a Maserati, etc. But the M5 is just an absolute hoot and a half. Half the fun with the M5 is the fact that you can get a four-door family sedan to do the things that the M5 can. My coolest vehicle all year, the one that really interested me most, was actually the Cadillac CT6 Super Cruise. I'm a little sad that Cadillac is canceling the CT6, but it's an excellent all-around fun vehicle to drive. It ultimately is a little bit compromised in terms of the back seat, the cargo area, etc., but it is fun to drive, and Super Cruise is just a really cool new technology. It is the first hands-off driving system that we see in the United States. Unlike Tesla's autopilot or some of the competitive systems where you're supposed to keep your hands on the steering wheel, the CT6 Super Cruise only requires that you're looking straight ahead. And that is a really, really cool new piece of tech. If you haven't had a chance to do so, be sure and check out our recent set of videos from the LA International Auto Show that'll give you a little bit of a hint of what we expect in 2019. There are definitely a host of new exciting vehicles for 2019, including a new BMW 3 Series, the new BMW Z4, the new Toyota Supra is going to be expected there, those new EVs that we've already talked about, and the new Hyundai Palisade, which is an exciting three-row crossover. And that's in addition to the boatload of new SUVs and trucks we see from the American brands, like the new Ford Ranger, which is going to be very exciting, the new Jeep Gladiator, which is probably the wackiest pickup truck you can buy in America, and the upcoming Chevy Blazer, which we will be driving in January. Although we don't know exactly what 2019 holds for Alex on Autos, I can tell you that we will be looking at buying at least one or two new vehicles to do a new vehicle video set on. So be sure and let me know what you think we should get down there in the comment section below. At the moment, the short list includes the Toyota RAV4 Adventure, which is the new version of the RAV4 that is most off-road capable, the new Ford Ranger pickup truck, and of course the Subaru Crosstrek, probably the plug-in hybrid version. I'm also sort of toying with the idea of maybe a green vehicle, something like a Hyundai Nexo, which is a hydrogen-powered crossover that is brand new for the 2018-2019 years. So be sure and let me know what you think about all that down there in the comment section below.